Good morning, everybody. Evgeny. בוא. לא. I will have to practice my English, so I want to welcome Dr. Adrian Sheff-Eisenberg, who came to us, to visit us. I hope we will enjoy this day, and it was a good experience to work with Isra Oren and Oren.
Okay, thank you for everybody to come. Supposed to be here 30 people. I don't see 30 people, but I see nice people. The people from Memogbלות arrived? They didn't hear yet. Okay. So there's 6 more people to come. Probably in traffic. I want to thank Enosh for hosting us another activity of Isra and Enosh. And thank you, Ami, for cooperating very fast, arranging this day. And thank you, Adrian, for coming and wanting to do this day together. This is the second time we cooperate like this. Last time was Isra conference, 2011. So somebody was there. You remember? Okay, so maybe next conference we will arrive. We want you to arrive to our annual conferences. Good luck for us. I hope we will enjoy the day. And I'll filming all the day, and you can see it in the site, in the website after that. Thank you, Ila.
Good morning, everybody. Oren said, actually thank us for hosting, but I like to thank Isra for allowing us or giving us the opportunity to host. Enosh is one of the main goals is studying, learning, being under process of continuing learning, so this session would be part of this, and thank you for coming and allowing us it's a huge privilege, you know, in very few words. I won't talk much about how Enosh works. I would like to go to talk about what is Enosh. And Chagai is here, a new worker that will start today. There are some who started years ago, and I'm not sure that everybody who works in Enosh or works in mental health arena knows what is really Enosh and how it started. And I think that by going over this track in time, we can learn a lot about what the motivation is, why we work the way we work, etc. But I like to start with this. בבית זה עובד. פה זה עובד על שני רגעים. אבל לא תודה. מישהו מכם ראה את ה...
כן, כן.
This short 50 seconds video was taken 2 years ago in order to promote awareness, and it was screened in movie theaters and on the TV, just in order to give the feeling of what does it mean to be ignored by the community, to have many talents, but not getting the right hug from the community and from the surrounding. So what is Enosh? Enosh is actually a pioneering organization that was established by families, mainly by mothers, that in 1978 made a decision that no more being only in a hospital or close at home. They understood that the only way to do something for the benefit of their kids, who are 18 and over, but their kids, they need to do something with the government, with those who, the decision makers, and they formed the organization. The way they gathered was really amazing. They were strolling in the streets, looking for people who are looking exactly like their kids. They followed them to their homes, knocked on the doors and said, "Here we are, do you like to join us?" And the first mothers were, for me, they were heroines. Because at that time, 1978, even today, to come and say, "Here I am, this is my problem, and I like to fight for something that will help my kids, but not my child, but not only my child," is not so easy. So they started as a grassroots, as a social organization to promote, in the beginning, to promote awareness, and to start and convincing the decision makers that something should be done. At that time, there were a lot of rehab services for handicapped, for the deaf, for the blind, but there was nothing for those who had mental problems. Later on, they understood, and the government, mainly the Ministry of Welfare, understood that something should be done. And in between 1978 and 2000, when there was the legislative process, between these 20 years, they start to develop services. They studied the services. They worked together with an international organization, with professors from the universities, and they showed that there is a success with the rehab services that they developed. And actually, the law, when we now read the standards that we work by them, as the law was written, most of what is written in the law is based on what we did in Enosh during these 20 years. So those pioneers in 1978, I'm not sure they knew what seeds they planted when they followed those people in the streets and said something should be done. So they started as family organization, then they hired professionals. They understood that they need to hire professional people in order to give the right services. They understood that they don't have the capability, the knowledge, and they start hiring professional workers. they gathered many volunteers, and between 78 and now, we are pretty much balanced with the number of workers and the number of volunteers. In 2000, Enosh already had 52 branches. So when the law was, when they start to operate the law or to work by the law, Enosh moved from being a pioneer organization who put the seeds to be one of the biggest providers of rehab services in Israel. In 2000, we had 52 branches. Now we have 56 branches. We serve people from Eilat in the southern part of Israel to Kiryat Shmona. And we give services to the Arab sector, to the Haredi sector in a very, I would say, small scale till now. And we give daily services to about 40, this is not the right one. I made some updates, but never mind. We give services to about 4,000 people every day, and we serve about 3,000 families, not on a daily basis, but every year we have about 700 new families who get services. So our mission, as I explained in very few words, is carried by professionals and volunteers, altogether about 1,600, 19 volunteers and 700 workers. And if I would talk about Enosh in 3 words, it's awareness, services, and advocacy. We give rehab and advocacy. We give rehab service advocacy, זה סינגור. סינגור או עבודה בכנסת. So we develop services. We give the services by the law, but at the same time we try as much as we can to develop new arenas, new ways to give better services. We aim to give the highest quality of professional rehab services. We try to remove the stigma as much as we can in many ways by putting articles in the newspaper, by sending letters, by interviewing all over radio, TV, etc. And we do as much as we can with advocacy, and we don't do it alone. There is a coalition of the mental health organization in Israel, and we work as part of this coalition in order to promote whatever is needed to be promoted. And the last, I would say, success is the medical reform. I don't know whether you know about, but according to the national medical law in Israel, we get all the services from Kupat Cholim, but there are only 2 areas that are not covered by Kupat Cholim, which is geriatric and psychiatric. As a coalition, we fought for 14 years to deal with this issue, that mental health would be, or psychiatric treatment would be part of Kupat Cholim or the regular health care system. We tried in the Knesset for many years, and at the same time we put a subpoena in the Supreme Court, and finally by the subpoena we won, not by the government, but there is a it's not the way we wished it will work, but for us it doesn't matter. There is a document signed by the Ministry of Health, who is now the Prime Minister, if you don't know, and by January 1st, everybody gradually will get mental health services, medical help from Kupat Cholim, and it was a huge success for us as a coalition regarding the advocacy part of our mission. The services, the rehab services that we give are complete and comprehensive. We give sheltered housing in different levels. We give occupational training, also in different levels. We try to give as many leisure activities and the family support that we'll talk about a lot later on. We have also some special programs that try to take those who are talented in specific issues and let them be more talented in their area. We have drama and dance group. We have music groups. We have creative writing workshops. There was a book that was published years ago. There are some cafes who are coffee shops that we operate. Actually, the consumers operate one in Tel Chai College in the north, one in Beersheba, one in Tel Aviv. In Bet Shemesh there was one that is so and so, but we try to work as much as we can with the consumers as workers and part of the missions that we carry. We have business, I would say, entrepreneurs that we try to help them to create their own business, give them all the support that they need. Few of them are really successful. And we have our big mission of vacations all over Israel and abroad. Every year about 1,500 people go and have a nice week. Yeah, 1,500 every year, which is it's a big operation to do so, and it's a long time. About supportive housing, I won't talk much. We have all the whole scale of services, but the main idea is that the person who needs the help will live as much as he can in the community, in his place, with his friends, and will get the support that he needs to allow it. Regarding occupational rehab, we have the clubs, we have the entrepreneurs, and we have everything that is in between, which is the supportive supportive occupation, that people are working in regular places, regular businesses all over, and they get their training or the support by a social worker. We have about 75 social clubs. 5 are here? No. 5 in Jerusalem? No. There were 6 or 7 in Jerusalem. Now we have 5. We have the regular social club, and we have some special social clubs that are aimed to give a better, or I won't say better, but more give the social services to the people who need specific atmosphere, like in Russian, like in Arabic, for the youth that would be not with the elderly one. So we try to give as many services that will be tailor-made for the people themselves. But we can't do it all over because of the numbers. Supportive employment, as I said, all over Israel in different businesses. Family services, I try to be as fast as I can because we don't have enough time. We have 7 centers, and we give in 8 branches. We give in small scale family services. And we have for the families 2 days every year, 2 days convention that is, I think, the only way for family to get away and to get all the, I won't say all, but very deep support and knowledge that they need. So that's about Enosh.